Hello and welcome along to another video on my E39 M5 V10 project. In today's video we're going to be looking at getting the ABS fully functioning. At the moment there's no error lights on the dash or anything like that, but as soon as you put the car into gear and the wheels turn, there's no vehicle speed and it throws up an error for one of the rear ABS sensors. I originally had E39 ABS sensors in there, and I tried E60 sensors in there, and I was still getting the problem. But it turns out that the E60 M5 it has specific wheel speed sensors. The only difference I can visually see is one has a blue plug, one has a grey plug. Obviously that must make all the difference. So yeah, I'll show you the fault at the minute. Can't run the car for too long today, as would you guess there's not much fuel in there, so I'll just get him started up. Door too, so it's a bit quieter in here and you can actually hear me, and then I'll just put it into gear and just let the clutch out ever so slightly. Okay, so that's the clutch out in first gear and we have no vehicle speed at all. Rev it a little bit. Yep, no vehicle speed at all. So yeah, it's a bit smoky in here now. It's just condensation out the exhaust system, nothing to worry about. So what I'm going to do now is swap all 4 ABS sensors to these E60 M5 ones, and that is going to involve as well changing the connectors. So the difference is, if you look at the connector end on, the keyway options, which is that cut out there and on the right hand side there, is different between the 2 sensors. So that plug won't plug into there, but whether the E39 plug will plug into here, we'll go and find out now. Okay, so there's the, I think this is an E39 wheel speed sensor that's in there at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll just unplug him. So there he is unplugged. I'll just grab the new one. And we'll see if he wants to plug in. I would say no. Looking at the keyway of the connector again. Keyway is different again to the grey one. We'll try and plug him home anyway. Yeah, as I suspected, because of the different keyway on the connector, it won't plug in. So to swap these plugs, what you have to do is, there's the little, just try and move that torch a bit, there's that little black clip which goes around the outside. You have to remove that and then there's two little barbs on them, two silver pins, one there, one there. You just have to press them in and then the pins will pull out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap all the connectors and get all the ABS sensors swapped over now. Okay, so I've got all 4 ABS sensors, the connectors swapped and all fitted up. So what we'll go for now is we'll go for another start up again. We'll just let it settle down a second, and I've also got input open. We'll go see if we could see the wheel speed values in here. Okay, you've never been able to see anything in there previously with the old sensors. What we'll do is I'll put it in gear now. There's so much shite on the floor. Okay, so great news is still no wheel speeds. Right, I'll have to look into this some more. Okay, so now all I've done is cycle the battery. I know things can be a bit funny when you connect sensors when the battery's connected still. So same again, I've got input up. I just put it in gear. Still nothing. And just clear the error memory just in case it's got any errors logged in it. Try again. Okay, nothing, which is quite annoying, but yeah, I'm going to do some more digging and see what I can find out. So still try and get some stuff done, putting that to one side. I think what I'm going to look at now is getting this battery positive. This is off an E60, but it's quite a nice unit. It's going to go around here somewhere. This bracket before. This bracket has been adapted before. I had it on the other side originally for the power steering reservoir, which was mounted here, but there was no space to get the lines through, so then I moved it over to this side. And yeah, this bracket needs finishing off, and I need to mount up the jump start point instead of just having the junction box, and tidy this battery cable up and get it sorted. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, take the bottle off, get the bracket off, and then go from there. Okay, so welcome back. It's a few days later from when I started this video. I was working on making the bracketry for this the other day. I was going to set up the time lapse, but in the other side of the shed where I was working, it's just far too dark. But yeah, what I ended up doing was modifying the bracket that you saw before, and basically now I've just welded some flange nuts on there for the power steering bottle, and that's just a threaded standoff welded onto there. So what's going to happen is that's going to end up getting bolted on there. Dropping everything everywhere. The bracket actually started off with an original M5 bracket for the power steering reservoir and I think the oil filter housing from an E39 M5, and that gave me the bit which sort of bent around the turret, and then I just put the flat plate on the top. This is from when I had it on the other side of the car before I moved the bottle over to this side, so I had to sort of modify it again. Got the bottle just on there. And this jump start point is another recycled part of E60 M5. Fits in this space quite well. It is a bit fiddly to get started. The reason it's on a standoff is if you put it too close, you'll never be able to disconnect the cable for any reason. Okay, so yeah, that's it there. That's why I've had to sort of cut out the back and space it off, so you can get that off and undo that nut and drop the cable off. I've also tidied the battery cable up and rerouted him where I want it. I've also put some like heat resistant sleeving on there. It's not too close to the exhaust, but I just know it's going to be very hot around this area, and it does drop down onto a positive point just underneath the just down there below where the heater hoses connect up with, so just try and keep it protected with just some heat sleeve. And proof of concept, away we go. Hopefully I don't have to use it, but it's there in case I ever do, and it's a nice way of joining the battery feed on the car to the one coming off the engine. Flip that down and away we go. I've also got somewhere with the ABS now. I put the wheel on the car, and when I just had it in gear, I obviously couldn't see anything, but using the same screen in INPA again, when spinning the wheel, I could actually see the front wheels generate a speed signal on the laptop. Obviously with the rears it's not doing it when you put it into gear, and after a bit more time and thinking about it, what it's come down to, so this is a grey E60 M5 wheel speed sensor again. If I compare it to an E39 one, if you compare them side by side, I can get it to work. The E39 one is actually about 3 mil longer, so that difference in lengths mean that this new sensor doesn't pick the trigger wheel up all the way. And it picks up the wheel speed off that ring there. There's like a little beveled ring there, and that's what gives it the speed sensor signal. So normally the sensor would sit like that and it covers it all, whereas this one, when it sits about there, so it doesn't cover it all and it's not picking up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order up a set of E60 M5 rear wheel bearings and possibly some rear hubs as well, so I can get it all on the floor together and compare it and see what the differences are. And then once I've done that, I'm hoping that I can make something together out of all the bits, so that it will then see signal. I know the rear speed sensors are working because I took the sensors out and did an Allen key in a drill, and it picks up the speed signal on both sides and in both directions, forwards and backwards as well. So I'm quite happy that all the sensors are working. It's just the fact that it isn't picking up off the trigger wheel on the back of the wheel bearing properly. So I think I'm going to end this video here, and then hopefully I'll upload one in a few days once I've got some hubs sorted, and we can move forward on that then and get them fitted up and see what happens. It is going to be quite annoying to strip all this down again, and put new hubs or new bearings in there because they are quite awkward. So yeah, I'll leave this video here, and hopefully get one out sometime later this week or beginning the next one once I've got the hubs in here. Okay, thanks for watching. Any comments, post them in the comment section. Subscribe if you're interested in the project, and I'll see you on the next video.